Alright guys, so welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Recoil Dart shaft. They're the newer Recoil shafts. This is the F3 model. It's a 72 grand shaft. It's regular. There is a stiff one, but I'm going to review the regular today. And I'm going to be using the head, the Ping 535i, which is a little different than the one from my CF16 Callaway. So I'm gonna take some shots, show you some trajectories, and then I'm gonna go in the simulator and show you some distances. So stay tuned for the video. Let me also show you the specs of the shaft. The one that I try is the 72 gram Recoil 75 Dart F3, and it's the regular. Torque 3.9, mid launch, and all the other information there. And I think for me it will be perfect the stiff, not the regular, in my opinion. The offset is 0.9 inches, which basically it means that if I convert that into millimeters, it's 2.28 millimeters. And if I look at my my specs on my CF160 Callaway for an 8 iron, the offset in millimeters, it's way less. So basically it's 0.14. So that means that it's gonna be a lot more offset on the pings, and then the loft on here is 35 as opposed to 33. So those are some things that you need to take into account. All right, so I was really excited about trying this Recoil, new Recoil shafts, because I had a great experience with the previous Recoil shafts. And the first few shots, the only thing that I noticed were just some shots were a little bit to the left, but that may have to do a lot with the offset of the club that I mentioned before. The feel of the shaft is still buttery, I would say, but I wasn't making like the greatest contact, I have to say, and there was a little bit of ball going left, like as you can see there. So I'm not sure if it's the club head that was making the, I think it was the club head, not the shaft. So I should have probably played with something more similar to my clubs, but it was really buttery feeling. And you can also see the height of the ball, just a little more than my standard irons, and I think that's just the shaft that is doing that. Another thing that I noticed, obviously looking at the specs, is that this 8 iron was pretty pumped. It was almost like my 7 iron, so I don't think I like that. I wanted to just test the Recoil shaft for what it was, not have like a 7 iron head on it. So here I go back to my standard irons here, just to show you some trajectories, and that way you can judge and see if there's a little. I think they're a little lower trajectory and not that many misses to the left as with the other ones. So we can see that that's a little lower trajectory to me. The other one was up there in the clouds. I have to be honest, I prefer just the lower trajectory, but I'm not sure if that was the shaft or the iron or the combination of both. But the only thing that I didn't like about Recoil or with that combination is that I was missing a little left. This is a little left too, but it wasn't that much left. And look at the trajectory. You can clearly see that they went it was lower. And then obviously this is what I'm gaming right now, so I'm probably gonna hit better shots. They felt a little solid. So here I go back to the Recoil. One thing about this Recoil is that there's no restriction. You don't feel any restriction when you hit the ball. And I think this could be handy when you're playing like the back nine, you're a little tired. I think that would be great in my opinion, because you could just hit it and it just goes through. But this is what I'm talking about, just a little left. And I'm trying to go back to my other irons just to show you the difference. I don't get that big left shots, the pulls with the Recoil shaft and the Ping combination. On this ones, you see the difference? It still went a little left, but it wasn't like that severely left. So here I'm just going back and forth just to show you a good comparison. I want to like the Recoils, to be honest, because I think they will be good for me in the long term, especially when I'm playing like the back nine. But I think I will probably need like a stiffer version here because it was just the contact wasn't as good as the ones with my clubs, and that may be due to the stiffness of the shaft. Okay, so now I'm on the simulator. I'm gonna give you some distances. Obviously, keep in mind that the pings have a little more less loft, so 2 degrees less. So in theory, they're supposed to go a little more than the mine clubs here. So I took about, I would say, 6 shots each, and then I'll compare the distance. The trajectory I already show you, which basically is a little higher on the pings. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the averages. Probably a total of 10 shots actually. I picked the best for the recoil darts, and I got an average of 147.5 yards with an 8 iron and the ping combination there. And then my apex, I picked the best four, and actually the distance was just a little more, even though the loft was 2 degrees higher. So it's strange, but it does happen sometimes. You think that you, by lowering the loft, you're going to get more distance. But as you can see in this case, I actually got more distance with just my regular 8 iron of 35 loft rather than the ping of 33 loft. Overall, I think the recoil was fine, but the main problem I think was the shaft was regular, and I probably needed to try the stiff shaft. I think the results would change definitely. Will probably be even higher with a stiffer shaft on the recoil. All right, guys, so that was it for the video. So basically, I think the F3 recoil dart is a pretty good shaft. I did not feel like it was too flexible at all, and I think my misses were probably due to the club head, not the actual shaft, I would say. But nevertheless, I think for me, I will benefit more from the F4 shaft. But if you are considering trying the shaft, definitely advise you to try it, because these are good shafts. I can tell you that they feel great. And unfortunately, I think on my fitting today, I just if I want to be honest, I don't know if I like those ping irons, because they were a little de-lofted and they had a lot of offset. So maybe it wasn't the best combination, to be honest. But I think the F4 shaft, a little more weight, would probably be a little better for me. So I'm kind of curious to try this out. But Recoil has always impressed me with their shafts, because I think it just feels really buttery, and you don't feel any restriction when you're swinging down, especially on your missed hits. It doesn't. It's very easy on your elbows. And I think in the long run, especially when you're playing the back nine or you're trying to finish a round, I think that's where you will probably benefit the most, because they just feel so easy to hit. But again, you have to pay attention to what you're fitting them with, so make sure to get the right head for them. So I would experiment with the F3 and the F4, and then go from there. Choose the right shaft. So in my opinion, they're very, very good shafts. For in this case, however, I think it didn't work out in that combination. And obviously, I think with my irons and my shafts, were, as you can see in the video, were better in this case. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time.